Good afternoon, lovable geese. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room, the issue that has the UK trembling in fear, that has garnered international attention, that has created concerns on free speech and free expression. Some random bill that has not even passed yet. The Employment Rights Bill, which is, well, a bill obviously, but is currently just a proposed law that has not been enacted yet. It has many provisions relating to workers' rights, 0-hour contracts, sexual harassment in the workplace, discrimination, and more. But is this bill really an attack on free speech? Farage, leader of the British Reform Party, thinks so. He claimed the bill could in effect ban discussion of sensitive subjects such as religion or transgender rights. He said on his GB News show, quote, "I have a little theory that every pub is a parliament. I've so often been in a pub debate where I've had an opinion and someone says, hang on a second, have you looked at it like this? And you can actually be turned around in a pub over a drink by the power of debate. And I think it's pretty fair in pubs for virtually everything within reason to be up for debate. However, the new employment rights legislation, which is designed to protect employees, says that debates should not happen in pubs if they're offensive to staff. This could well include debates such as transgender rights and veganism, and if they're being expressed in a contentious way, people in the pub could be asked to leave. You might as well close the pubs down. But some didn't take too kindly to Farage's words. This included some labour and trade unions, such as the Trade Union Congress General Secretary Paul Nolan. And before I repeat what he says, let me just put on the Soviet Union music for fun. Nobody should be abused while doing their job, but sadly we have seen a rise in violent abuse and harassment of people like shop workers, NHS workers, and many other public-facing staff. This measure is about ensuring employers take reasonable steps to protect workers from aggressive customers. Punters will still be able to talk freely in pubs, and the EHRC has helpfully clarified that employers must not misinterpret the law. Nigel Farage is promising the same broken status quo, not the economic reset working people desperately need. Reform has no plan for workers, and Nigel Farage is no friend of working people. He's on the side of bad bosses, 0-hour contracts, and fire and rehire." End quote. The Soviets may not be able to stop people from starving, but they're really talented when it comes to their music. P.S. I'm not trying to insult Paul Nowick by comparing him to a communist or Stalinist through that music. I just thought it would be really funny. But on Nowick's point, Farage seems to only disagree with one aspect of the Employment Rights Bill. Regardless of what you think about the other provisions of the bill, the main question is this: does this bill attack free speech? And we may have our answer. The EHRC, which stands for the European Human Rights Commission, published a report that analysed the bill, with a particular emphasis of Clause 16 of the bill. Clause 16 is meant to introduce measures that protects people from discrimination on the grounds of sex, disability, gender reassignment, religion, race, sexuality, age, belief, or sexual harassment, which are all covered by the Equality Act 2010. These measures include making sure employers prevent employees from being harassed by third parties, such as customers in a pub, and that employers would be penalized via civil liabilities if they fail to take all steps to protect their employers from said harassment. But here's the thing, the Worker Protection Act 2023 had similar concerns with free speech, so an amendment was removed. However, the impact analysis report of the current Employment Rights Bill didn't mention those free speech concerns again. The UK government believes there is a high threshold, as harassment is defined in Section 26 as unwanted conduct that has the purpose or effect of violating the recipient's dignity or creating an intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating, or offensive environment for them. Wow. So the UK government isn't worried. But the UK government's Human Rights Memorandum doesn't address one thing: overheard conversations. Since this clause relates to third parties, there may be situations where third parties like customers can discuss certain conversations and the employee may just happen to be hearing them. If the employee feels the conversation is intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating, or offensive, then that could fit the Section 26 definition of harassment, even if the employee was not involved or directly interacting with the customers. employers would find it difficult to determine whether overheard conversations fit on the umbrella of harassment. To make matters worse, these third parties / customers may be having philosophical discussions and express certain beliefs to each other that are linked to discrimination protections under the Equality Act. For instance, imagine two customers in a pub are expressing the belief that there are only two genders, and that transgender people are not really the gender they identify as. An employee overhears this conversation and also identifies as transgender. They are offended by these ideas and conversations, and feel humiliated and degraded, as well as potentially have concerns of intimidation due to viewing the customers as bigots. The trans employee reports this to the employer, even though the customers did not interact with the employee or insult them directly. But the employer is unsure if this counts as harassment, and is limited by the ambiguity of the new law. So Farage is right.
FBI, open up!
We of course don't know if this will actually happen, but that's the problem. We don't know. A law / bill shouldn't be this ambiguous. I sympathize with the bill in trying to clamp out harassment in the workplace, but this is a big blunder from the British state. Again, whatever you think of this bill, this one clause is very problematic for free speech. And if you're someone who wants to feel free to discuss whatever controversial view you have in the pub, please give a like and subscribe, not because it will actually stop the bill in any way, but it will help boost my video in the algorithm and help people be more informed about the problems with this bill when it comes to free speech. I also have other political content such as economic analysis and discussing cultural topics. Actually, I've been doing that quite a lot for 5 years now. I'm hoping to get to 700 subscribers by 24th January, which was the first day I posted a video. I have some other content coming up, such as discussing about the woman who slept with 100 guys. That's going to be fun to make. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and see you later. Bye.